Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here, and today we are going through the 2024 Subaru Ascent Premier, the top end trim here in Canada. In the States it's called the Touring, in the cosmic blue. So this is the largest Subaru's ever made. 7 passengers. Powered by a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder boxer engine. You get 260 horsepower and 277 pounds-feet of torque. Plenty of power in this thing. They are sleepers. They're surprisingly fast, and Premier is the absolute full load. So these did get a refresh front end on 23, definitely more aggressive than the previous iterations of it. Large grille with those chrome wings. You've got the front camera as part of your 360 camera setup there. We have the chrome on the newly redesigned front fascia bumper. We've got the LED fog lights with that fog light bezel. Overall, a very nice change to them for the 23 model year, and of course that's carried through to the 24. But overall, a great looking vehicle. So we do have 20-inch wheels, and I actually quite like this design. This one just came in, still has some of that green shipping grease marker on it. That's the word. Sorry, forgot it there. We do have satin chrome mirror caps, and these mirror caps, when you lock the door, fold in. Now you can turn that off if you're not a fan of it. We've got 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, so more than your average half-ton pickup, and of course Subaru's legendary full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive. We also have the chrome handles. We've got the chrome stripping around the windows. We have roof rails with integrated tie downs front and rear. That's what these 2 slots are here. So if you get crossbars for this, use that as your tie down strap, or where you'd put the straps for your tie downs. Now, fuel door, rear passenger side, just like every other Subaru. So it's locked currently, but if I click unlock on the key fob, it unlocks. So unlock. So it's tied to the driver door. So if I click lock, a pin shoots out there, locks in that hole, click unlock, it retracts. So it's tied to the driver door, which is nice. Give you that rear 3/4 view. It is a large Subaru, but if you're coming out of a current Subaru, it feels natural and it doesn't feel like as big of a change as it may actually be. We've got that chrome strip between the taillights, and that's on the Premier. We do have backup sensors integrated into the rear bumper, and they will apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. This centerpiece is removable, and when you get the hitch installed, the accessory, that is removed to access the hitch and the 7 and 4-pin wiring, but you put that back for a more finished touch. And the Premier has a max towing capacity of 5,000 pounds. You've got a power lift gate, can activate from the door, the driver's seat, or the key fob. And with it being a 3rd row vehicle, a 7-seater, behind the 3rd row, there's a decent amount of storage, more than people would expect. Now, these 2nd row seats, you can actually have straight up and down, even when you have people in them, and increase that. You can fit full-size boxes, all that. We've got grocery bag hooks on either side. We have a halogen cargo light. That'll shut off when I close the hatch. 12-volt power point for charging needs. We have nice hard mount physical tie downs in each corner. And underneath here, we've got our privacy cover. We have access to spare tire tools, the eye bolt. The jack is back here behind this cover right here. And to lower the tire, this is actually the only tire in Subaru's lineup that you lower and it comes out underneath the vehicle. And that is just because we have the 3rd row. Now, these headrests in the 3rd row pop up. Everyone gets a headrest. Headrest helps reduce the chance of whiplash, and they drop super easy. Now, we can dramatically increase the amount of storage we have in the back of the Ascent. Like, that's quite a bit more than a Forester, more than an Outback. There's a lot of room. We have hard mount physical tie downs up front. In the 3rd row, we have USB ports, media device storage, and we have 3 sets of cup holders, which is great. Additional speakers out of the back on either side, and those little squares are where the privacy cover tucks in, and it covers everything from there down. Very easy to use. We can close it, we can close and lock it, we can pull down. Super easy, lots of options. 2nd row, we get captain's chairs in the Premier, and this is the brown Napa leather. Some of these you can get with the dark /gray/black interior. The blue and the brown, looks awesome. We've got fold down armrests, and they lock in multiple positions. So depending how you like to sit, makes it easier to get comfortable. We have easy access to the third row with these two handles, and they're designed to be used as leverage to walk your way through. Or you can slide the seat forward and you've got steps into the third row. Very, very comfortable seats. The captains are definitely designed for adults, teenagers. We've got a panoramic sunroof, moonroof combo with a power sunshade. This rear panel is just for an increase of viewer brightness in the cab. The front tilts and slides. We have climate controls out of the second row, center console, and that is for both the second and third row. And vents for climate control are actually out of the roof, so you feel the heat or air conditioning right away. The outer two seats in the back, they're heated with high and low. I've got fan strength controls, temperature controls, and I can control that from the front, or I can lock someone out if someone's monkeying around with it in the back. Now the Premier does come with a house plug in addition to the two USBs and cup holders, and there's 19 cup and bottle holders in the Ascent. So you will not be lacking on that. We have matte back pockets on the backs of both front seats. Really easy to use cup holders. We get these awesome sunshades. Great if someone's trying to take a nap, or if you're playing on a gaming system, handheld, it keeps the sun glare off. You can actually get these as an accessory now for other Ascents. We've got soft touch armrest, soft touch door card. We've got the faux wood trim, more bottle holders, storage, and of course, Harman Kardon audio system. So absolutely fantastic audio system in the Ascent. Child locks if you need it. Important to note, the child lock for this door does not lock the child lock on that door. Something to remember, and something that I did forget to point out there. We have that little black slot, and that's what this extra side impact crash safety bar locks into when the door is closed, and it's designed to stop intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. It does also help start or retain structural integrity if you're hit from behind. It's just it ties the frame together. Very, very handy. Now, these are also used as steps when you're putting something on the roof, and the reason they want you standing on that instead of on the tire is, one, the tire sits inside the fender, physically inside. I'm not gonna get as much of my foot on that as I will that. And if I stand at the back here, I'm right at the back of the rack system. This is dead center. So I'm probably gonna end up leaning, putting myself in an awkward position, which could result in an injury. So that's, Subaru's all about safety. They try to mitigate that. We have a proximity key. So long as the key's within 46 inches, we touch the lines, locks the doors, locks the handles, and let's just confirm on the back door, because the back doors don't have the sensors. Key within 46 inches, hand in the handle, and it unlocks. Front door card looks very, very similar to that of the rear in regards to the soft touch materials, the wood trim. We do have 2 position memory settings for your power driver's seat in the Ascent. We have the ability to fold the mirrors, just the click of a button. So if you're pulled onto the side of the road, narrow street, waiting for someone or something, fold the mirrors in. Less likely to get taken off. Front 2 windows are auto, regular power windows for the rear, and we have window lock, bottle storage, and of course, Harman Kardon audio system. By the driver's left knee, we have this nice little storage cubby. It is dark. Be careful what you put there. If it's dark, it blends in really well and you'll misplace it, or could misplace it. This is faux, well, it's a mix of real and synthetic leather, but it's nice leather, it's nice soft touch. We've got the ability to open the rear hatch. We can turn on all of the interior lights at once, and we have a scroll wheel for the brightness of your gauges. The front seats, ridiculously comfortable. Same seating material, that leather, as the second rows, and it's power, but we have a manual thigh extender, which is great if you've got longer legs and seats cut the circulation of your leg off over longer trips. Definitely a huge benefit. We've got our controls, including the lumbar, and then on the inside, we have the upgraded leather steering wheel. So this is definitely a more velvety leather than you find in the Limited or the Onyx, but it feels good. Takes a little bit to get used to, but it is good. It's push button start, so my foot goes on the brake, and so long as the key's inside, green means go. Got those LEDs that pop up there. That's just letting me know the EyeSight system's doing its calibration, making sure it's working. And those lights will pop up at different driving circumstances. I have a video about that. I'll include that in the video description. So if you're curious about those, check out the video description. We have blind spot detection indicators on both of our side mirrors. They're the little nub, and it's going to illuminate, and I'm going to turn it off and turn it on again, like so, on the corresponding side when someone is in your blind spot or going to be momentarily. So it's not an excuse not to shoulder check. And actually, speaking of that, visibility in this Ascent is phenomenal. You've got very large windows. The pillars, the A, B, and C pillars are not too large. They're easy to see. We've got this great small window, the old smoking windows. Of course, these don't open, but it gives you a great bit of visibility because Subaru's mounted the mirror off of the door, not off of the pillar. So you have better visibility. On the steering wheel itself, it is heated. Best thing ever come wintertime. The steering wheel is tilt and telescopic. So you can adjust it to how you like to drive, how you like to sit. I don't like my arms out like a race car driver, so I always pull it towards myself. On the left-hand side of the steering wheel here, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls, and you can make and take calls, accept calls, issue voice commands, or access Google Assistant or Siri. Source will switch from AM to FM to USB to Bluetooth to auxiliary. We can switch between presets, which are the left and right arrows on either side there. And this used to be volume. Obviously, this is volume now, but this actually changes our small little center display. Gives us a bunch of different information depending what you want to look at. Easy to use. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and our lane centering. Both of those use these three black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, road lines, pedestrians, and other vehicles. These are also responsible for automatic emergency braking, stopping you from hitting other things, which saves you 10% on your basic insurance here in BC. Now, when I turn on the cruise, I get an image of the Ascent, and I get 4 bars ahead of the Ascent, all the way down to 1. That is the follow distance. It's a ratio behind the vehicle ahead of you that you'll follow. So 4 bars, if you're going 100 kilometers an hour and you catch up to someone, if you're going 100 kilometers an hour and there's 4 bars, you will follow at 150 to 180 feet. You can follow closer. You can decrease the bars down to 1 or 2 or 3, and you can increase. Lane centering, you get the little image of the steering wheel there, gone, and it's back above 60 kilometers an hour. If the cameras can see the road lines, whichever side it can see, we've got those 2 gray lines. Whichever side it can see, it'll illuminate white. Same color as those. And above 60 kilometers an hour, it'll help keep you centered. It gives you gentle steering input. It'll bring you through corners. It's a fantastic system. Way less fatigued at the end of a long day of driving using the lane centering. I do recommend you try it. Have someone show you how it works. It's great. We have paddles, upshift, downshift. We can manually select our own gears if we want. We have the driver focus system. So there's an infrared camera in here. It's never recording you, it's scanning your face, and it'll tell you if you're distracted or if you're drowsy, not paying attention to the road. And it'll flash little warnings up here, audible and visual, which is nice. We have an 11.6-inch touchscreen infotainment system. They've broken it kind of into 3 portions. Top portion, we've got what we're listening to. So it's set to Bluetooth right now, no Bluetooth hooked up. We've got navigation destination. We've got widgets, which we can just change around. You simply click what you want to change and pull up the one you want. And if you watched any of my other videos, I always do the same 3. That's what the majority of people like. We have map, navigation, powered by TomTom, lifetime subscription, no need to pay for it after the first year or anything. You get 1 free update. After that, updates are on you, but the nav does not just stop working because you haven't updated it. You can go full screen, but you also have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So hook your smartphone up. You can use navigation from your phone. You gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. Phone hooks up to Bluetooth. Radio's radio. Media is anything that's outside the vehicle. So Bluetooth connection, auxiliary, USB. Access to the My Subaru app. After the vehicle's registered in your name, you get that. You get a 3-year trial of that. Does things like remote start from your phone. Settings, car info. You can set maintenance reminders. Really easy to do. You can turn off the display if it's too bright. And something that you get in the Limited and the Premier, it's called Cabin Connect. And I don't know if the mic's going to pick it up, but it probably sounds a little bit like I'm echoing. And that is because it takes a microphone and puts my voice through a speaker to the back. So people in the back, children and the like, can hear what I'm saying clearly. It doesn't work in reverse, which is also nice if you're a parent. you'll understand for sure. But this is definitely an easy way to connect with people in the back and make sure they can clearly hear you. Now, when I put it in reverse, we get the 360-degree backup camera in addition to our regular backup camera. I'm actually going to close the sunroof to try to get rid of a little bit of that glare, but we've got around us. And if I want to change the view, I simply click this. We can just have straight up backup camera if you want. We can have just 360. And it shows you where your vehicle is going to end up if you keep your wheel turned that way, which is very, very handy. I like that for tight parking spots. This is a very handy view. Or you can have 360 and behind you. Rear assist braking is on, parking sensors are on. It'll show you when you're getting close what the sensors are seeing. Oh, whoops. Very, very handy. I'm a big fan of that. And I can actually turn on the camera even when I'm in drive. So I've got my front left, my front right, almost 180 degrees there. And I can change it just ahead of me, or 360 even when driving forward. So that is a great aid as well for parking. We still have physical volume and tuning knobs. You got your 4-ways, which I hope none of you ever need to use. And then we have our climate controls down here. So it is dual zone, and as you can see, driver side's 20, passenger side's low, rear is 22. So you can have 3 different climates going on. The tri-zone climate control, or I can pull up the screen, I can click, I can drag, I can control where I want my airflow, I can sync it back to just driver controlled, control if I want recirc, AC, max AC. When I sync it, it does sync the rear as well, but I can control the rear, I can set its own fan, control airflow, and that important lock feature. So if someone's playing with controls and you don't want them to, lock, they can't do it anymore. It's great. But just set it back, hit sync, everything's synced together. The Premier gets 3 stages of heated and ventilated seats for the front driver and passenger. It's very nice to have. The ventilated is fantastic for the summer. We've got nice big fan strength buttons. You can turn off the rear climate if nothing's back there that needs to be heated, cooled, or otherwise climatized. And then below that, we've got a little storage cubby with a 12-volt power point. We've got 2 USBs and an auxiliary, more faux wood grain. It is an automatic CVT. We do have the manual mode. We can use these paddles to manually select our own gears. And park brakes are now, for the most part, electronic. If my foot's not on the brake when I push down to deactivate it, it actually pops up and says depress the brake. So depress the brake, down it goes. Cup holders are illuminated. When you turn on the headlights, they're illuminated, which is kind of cool. And they can't really see it in here, but you're in the handrest there is as well. Soft touch armrest, change tray, tons of storage in there. This is easy to remove, not difficult in the slightest. My favorite feature in any vehicle ever is the auto dimming rear view mirror. So there is a switch, but you don't flick the switch when someone's behind you. It's got a light sensor, just automatically dims. What this is the smart view rear view camera. So if I have a ton of cargo, I've got the seats folded down, or I've got lots of people in there and I can't see clearly out the back, I do this. And there's an extra camera out the rear window so I can see behind me. It definitely takes some getting used to, but it's pretty cool. You can actually see the camera hanging down there in the middle of the rear window. Off, on. It's great. We do also have the home link system. You can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror. You don't have to carry a bulky visor opener on your person, in your car, or on the visor. Less things to get lost. Integrated compass. We have sunglass storage coupled with a conversation/spy mirror. That is very, very handy, keeping an eye on people. We've got SOS and roadside assistance. That's part of the 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services I was talking about. We've got our map lights, we've got our power sunshade, our power glass roof. And this sunshade, I can stop at any point. So if I wanted to open up front here, I just press the forward button, it stops. Easy to use. Now glass, I push up and it tilts, push forward and it goes down, and then I can retract it. And it opens up. We've got the bug screen to stop bugs from being sucked in, and that's position 1, and there's position 2 as well. So very, very large roof. It lets a lot of light in. It's very, very handy. And then when you close it, you still have to close it. On our mirror, or our sun visors, we have our card holders. We've got our vanity mirror with lights. That extends, and you can block the sun out if it's directly at your left or if it's at your passenger's right. That is a quick look at the 2024 Subaru Ascent Premier in the Cosmic Blue, the fully loaded Subaru Ascent, powered by a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine producing 260 horsepower and 277 pounds-feet of torque. That nets you a max towing capacity of 5,000 pounds, which is generally more than people are going to be towing anyways. Seating for 7, room for your passengers and your cargo. It's the biggest Subaru they've ever made. So thank you for sticking with me, watching my walkthrough of the 24 Ascent Premier. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this car behind me, any of the tech in it, anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you're looking for a car in British Columbia, or you're willing to make a trip to northern BC to find the perfect vehicle for you, please reach out and I'd love to help you. Again, thank you for watching. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. We'll talk soon.